come up onto the upper Stour again, fishing a swim. I've fished a couple of times lately, and today I've set up a 15-foot colmic rod, and the flow has really dropped off. And what I'm going to do is fish with casters, and to make a change I'm going to use a pole float, 1.5 gram pole float, and with the casters, fairly small hook. I'm interested to see if the bubbles come back. I've seen a couple of bubbles just upstream. When I fished it before feeding bread, there's been quite a lot of bubbles, and last time I hooked a big fish, I don't know what it was, I think it was a chub, and see what happens down there. Like I say, the flows really dropped out of the river the last couple of weeks. We had some rain before, that rain has gone. It's a fairly warm and muggy day, about 21 degrees, bit of a downstream wind, but I'm fairly sheltered here from it. Previously I've been using a Croquil Avon, taking about 6 BB. This takes I suppose about 3.5 BB, 4 BB, so it's a bit lighter, and with the longer rod it should be right. I'm just hoping it's not skimming too much through here. And what I want to do is to hold back and fish on the bottom fairly close in, just on the edge of the current. I'm going to start on a 20 with a micro barb, old Camasan Whisker 20, which if I hook a big chub might be a bit light, but you never know. And just tens on the bottom couple of foot, and then above that a bunch of, I think I'm going to do number 4s. So I like to do number 1s. I used to fish casters all the time on the Stour and the Avon. Pretty much had a fixed order of 3 or 4 pints every week. They're not the cheapest of baits nowadays, and generally I don't even get through a lot of maggots, but they're a very, very good bait on the Stour and the Avon. Just see how this goes. And I'm going to try the little shot then. Probably find it's too much now. Let's see what I'll do with that. Just missed the kingfisher there. Very close to the right depth, just going to add a few inches, and it's going to be a question of feeling a way around the swim and seeing what turns up on a caster. Although I've got maggots, I'm going to see if I can stick to casters all the way and just start with about a dozen or 15 to start with. I suspect, like last time, I'm going to pick up little chublets and dace. Just going to knock off about 2 inches, just dragging the bottom at the moment. Once again, I've got the mysterious bubbles coming up. It's very small bubbles just beyond the float. I've just had my first bite, just a little dip to start. I'm intrigued by these bubbles. They're probably gudgeon or something, or small dace. They're very, very fine bubbles. Once again, it's right next to the float, just a few bubbles coming up. Cast is dragging on the bottom. It's got to be close to whatever it is down there. That's the second bite I've missed. The thing with casters is really you need to be patient and wait for them to respond. A bit like hempen tares, although when there are fish there and they know about hempen tares, they can be on them straight away, but up here it can be a waiting game, so I'm going to persevere with it. I've got a few maggots to as a change bait, but hoping the casters will work. I've just knocked off another couple of inches off the depth. It's all very, very slow. One good bite, one tentative one, missed both. A few bubbles and no fish. Once again I've got bubbles just downstream of where the float is, which means the bait must be very close to where the bubbles are. I'm trying to maggot on the hook just to coax a bite out of this place. I don't know what's going on. Expected by now to have had some roach, dace, last time on bread, lots of little chub. Let's try double caster. If I haven't caught by the hour, then I'm going to go up and find some fast water up the top. Switch gear. A bite at last. Judging by the way it's going down, it's a perch. Really, a fish at last on a caster. There's something down there, not very big. And about the tiniest roach out there. It doesn't seem, certainly on casters, to be anything of any quality in this swim today. I've had good chub and roach, perch. So I think what I'm going to do is go up and just have an hour further up, tackle up again with a different rod, and stop wasting my time here. Come up and found a bit more pace, shallower swim, bit of a run. Set off a stick float now with my Allerton rod. Size 18, and going to fish double casters and hopefully catch something worth catching. I've had perch and chub and dace and roach up here before, so you never know. That first swim was extremely disappointing with a few bites and nothing of any size at all. The main problem once again is this horrible downstream wind, which is not good. This could be the world's tiniest roach on a double caster, 2 inches long. Trying to catch something that puts a bend in the rod. Well, the float went under decisively enough for a gudgeon. That's a lot better. Just got to keep the bugger out. He who laughs last loudest. Well, it's been a very tough day, and it's been a hard day, but to catch something worth catching at long last has made it worth it. It's only £2.5 maybe, hard fighting, good chub, and very welcome. Going to slip it back with the net. That's it, I'm calling it a day. It's been a right old struggle. Half a dozen tiddlers, tiny chub, tiny roach, a gudgeon, a little perch, and just that one bonus chub about £2.5, which has at least put a bend in the rod and made use of a landing net. Just shows you can't always succeed. I thought I'd do better than that with casters. Maybe not. But the river seems a bit dead. There's very little fish life showing. Tiny little fish, that's all. Nothing very big at all. Till next time, it's goodbye for now.